That waking up at 2 a.m. What everybody was laughing at last summer, that's what we're seeing right now with Jimmy Butler. All right, YouTube. So obviously, I'm gonna try not to yell or get out of character or anything like that. In this video, I'm pretty sure there's thousands and thousands and hundreds of videos that will be uploaded tonight, tomorrow morning, the rest of this weekend along the similar nature. So I'm gonna try to refrain from yelling or anything like that. But I had to get my thoughts on this. I was just thinking about this too much, going back and forth about this too much, seeing so many takes about this so often, and I just wanted to explain to someone who might not understand why this is even a discussion with LeBron. See, LeBron he's on a different scale. He's being evaluated on a different scale. There are thousands and thousands of players in NBA history. LeBron is in the discussion for who is the greatest player of all time. There is only one greatest player of all time. Yes, for years and years he's been one of the greatest players of all time, but he's been trying to be hands down the greatest player of all time for at least the last 5 years. And he said it multiple times in multiple interviews. So with that expectation, with that goal, is a different scale that you're judged by. Everything is going to be nitpicked because when you're comparing yourself to Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, when you're comparing yourself to these guys, it's just different, man. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is different, you know, because you're pretty much looking at greatness, right? So everybody in that tier is great. None of them are perfect. No human is perfect. So you have to look at who was the closest thing to perfection. What was the closest thing to perfection? So I'll start off with the positive from tonight. So, you know, obviously the biggest thing that people have said about LeBron throughout his career is he doesn't have that killer instinct like Kobe. He doesn't have that Mamba mentality. He isn't a killer. He's great, but when it comes down to it, he just doesn't have that killer like so-and-so, like A-B-T. You know, usually they'll say Kobe, like Kobe or Jordan are the people they'll say. The positive for tonight, in that fourth quarter, man, LeBron was shutting all of that talk down. He was shutting it all down. He was being aggressive. You know, LeBron, I think he prefers to be a facilitator as opposed to being a scorer, but he'll be a scorer when he has to be. You look back at 2007 against the Pistons in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the first game I think about. I think that was game 5 maybe in the Auburn Palace or whatever they called that place. Yeah, when you think about that game, that's the first game I think about when LeBron's like, yo, like that was like his, you know, I'm the king, crown me, feel me? That was his performance right there of welcome me. You know, if LeBron did that, if he had more of those performances, then I think it'd be hands down, you know, it wouldn't even be a discussion of, yeah, LeBron is the greatest athlete to touch a basketball court, but he's not the greatest player because you know, when you think about that stuff. Anyways, going back to tonight. So tonight, LeBron went back into that Pistons mode. That Pistons game 5 Eastern Conference Finals on the road mode where he took over every play. He was like, no, give me the ball. I'm taking it, taking every shot. He was making every shot. He wasn't missing it. Second thing I wanted to say about him, especially in those final 2 minutes, he got to the free throw line about 2.5 minutes and he knocked down both of the free throws. So that's something that LeBron has also struggled with. Another thing that people look when they're looking at the greatest of all time discussion. LeBron has a history of struggling at the free throw line, in particular late in ball games. He's done it time after time after time again. He made these free throws. So it's like LeBron's got it. LeBron's shutting it down. And he had a look on his face that was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm in reach of. I know the magnitude of this moment. I know what this could do for my career. And this is great ground for his GOAT, you know, debate. This is great ground for his GOAT debate. So, you know, he's a minute and a half from it. You know, him and Jimmy are going back and forth. The final minute comes, blown assignment on Miami. I think Iguodala was supposed to switch over. Iguodala's kind of watching. Bam comes out on the shooter in the corner. Shooter in the corner misses. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony Davis gets the rebound because Bam is gone and Iguodala's looking and Jimmy Butler ain't gonna box out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in a position to box out AD. AD gets it. All right, here we go. So Jimmy takes it. And the thing about Jimmy, LeBron tried to chirp Jimmy up at the free throw line twice. He tried to all that at the free throw line. It didn't work. Jimmy Butler is not Gilbert Arenas, right? Remember when LeBron was young and they were playing the Wizards in the playoffs and he comes up to Gilbert, hey, if you miss these, you're going home. Jimmy is not built like that. Jimmy is not you, LeBron. Jimmy is not Gilbert Arenas, LeBron. Jimmy built different. He built different. It don't that waking up at 2 a.m. What everybody was laughing at last summer. That's what we're seeing right now with Jimmy Butler. That's what's coming into play. When Jimmy does this after being fouled, when he get whacked in the head with Dwight Howard and get back, knocked down 7 times, get up 8 Dwayne Wade. When you see all that, that's because Jimmy has that thing, man. Jimmy has that thing where people talk about LeBron doesn't have it. And LeBron was showing that thing right back at Jimmy. Until those last 2 possessions. He drives, quadruple team. LeBron is a smart intellectual. You know what I'm saying? One of the smartest basketball players probably of all time. You know what I'm saying? Not even just of today, of all time. Now, shout out to Rajon Rondo, also known as one of the greatest basketball minds to ever play the game. He's going in, he draws 4 Heat defenders. And this is a Heat defense that's probably one of the better defensive lineups, like in our modern day, generation, with Bam right there waiting for you at the rim. You got Jimmy on you. You got Iguodala coming over to help, and then I don't know who the other person was. I can't think of him right now. I think it was Duncan Robinson. He came over to help Jimmy once LeBron started driving. So he had those 4 guys on him. LeBron, he knows, he makes a basketball smart play. In any other situation, you give it off to Danny Green. Knowing the history of this, Danny Green has been off all bubble. Also give you another history lesson. Kobe Bryant actually passed the ball in a similar situation in the finals. The last time the Lakers won the championship, just in case you forgot, in the final minute of the game, Kobe drives, kicks it out, Metta World Peace on the wing, ball game, Metta World Peace releases the song Champion. It's on NBA 2K the next year. This is something that, someone with that mentality, quote unquote, has done before. Just want to point that out. But with Danny Green's just history in the bubble. First of all, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel and LeBron, both of y'all kind of at fault here. I don't understand why Frank Vogel was so confident in Danny Green after missing all bubble to suddenly come on and make the shot. Because Danny Green, he agreed with Paul George when Paul George said that, his struggles in the bubble were all mental because of everything he was reading on social media and stuff. And Danny Green said, I could totally relate. I agree, blah, blah, blah. So when you see that, don't you think, this isn't just like a shot. My shot isn't falling, physical thing. This is a mental thing for Danny Green. He's not making shots. When the season is on the line, championship's on the line, I'm not putting Danny Green in the game. And there's a reason why he was that open. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff Van Gundy said, I'm living with Danny Green in my season. KCP, if I'm the Lakers, KCP was the best other guy option right there in that moment. But that's a whole nother story. So Danny Green takes a shot. He misses it. Pretty much probably as expected because he's been missing all bubble once again. It's just kind of a thing of, dang, what would Jimmy have done? So, my friends have showed me the screenshot a billion times. Everybody's talking about, it's asinine. It's just absolutely insane to think about LeBron not passing the ball when, 4 people are on him. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. What would Jimmy do in that situation? Jimmy was driving in that last, I guess, 5 minutes or whatever in the 4th quarter where he had everybody against him, everybody hitting him, beating him, bruising him, and he's still driving to the lane. I think there's a couple cases he couldn't get past his defender. He gave up the ball. But when he got past his defender, when you got him on your hip or whatever, Jimmy was going to take that thing regardless of who was on him and doing what. I think AD blocked him once, but it was a foul. They called the foul on AD, and I think that was in the final minute or so. So if you look at Jimmy probably would have took that thing. He probably would have took that thing, hoping to get some contact. If I'm LeBron, 16 seconds, I'd rather, and try to get a foul call, and then do this. If you don't get the foul call, you still got 16 seconds. Foul him, take the 2 shots, come back down. And then you have what 14 seconds left as opposed to 1.6 seconds. And then even on that last second heave, you can't count anything on the last second heave, but I've seen LeBron make that shot a bunch of times. He had a good look at it, 1.6 seconds, and he wasn't even close. So you might be thinking the criticism isn't fair for LeBron. My counter argument to that is it's literally because LeBron is on a different scale of arguments. You have to understand LeBron's being compared to the greats. You'll hear about that little jump bunny from Tim Duncan to this day. But you hear about it because Tim Duncan is on a different scale than everybody else. Tim Duncan is widely regarded, kind of undeniably known as the greatest power forward of all time, top 10 player. He's personally in my top 5. So when you miss a shot like that, in a moment like that, even as an older guy, people are still looking at you. You know what I'm saying? So it just what comes with the territory when you're being compared to other greats. To be the great, like the lone number one great. So it's a different discussion as opposed to just, the day-to-day, today's stars. Because you could be like, yes, LeBron is still the best player in the game today. LeBron is still the best, you know what I'm saying, all of this. You can still say that, right? But we're looking at all time, and it's a different standard there. It's just different because there's thousands of players in the NBA history, and there's only one greatest of all time. So, I mean, that's all I wanted to say. If you think I'm tripping or whatever, I get it. It's a debate that's going to go on forever and all that good stuff. But, hey, if you're new to the channel, this is the road to 500 subs. I react to a lot of this stuff. I'm actually doing a series, NBA GOAT. I'm going to continue that sometime soon. I've been doing some draft stuff, some women's basketball stuff, some girls basketball stuff, but I'm going to try to get back on that soon, sooner than later. Hey man, until next time, that was a great game. First of all, let's applaud amazing basketball. That's what we wanted. We wanted a good finals. At the beginning of the finals, when Bam gets hurt, when Jimmy got hurt, when Dragic got hurt, we looking like, oh man. And then LA blew him out that first game. We like, 2 finals in a row where the injuries are going to affect the quality of the finals. But we're going to get something actually good here. I mean, I'm glad we got... The last 2 games have been masterpieces. The last 2 games have been works of art. And just very exciting series. If I'm Miami, though, retrospective, 2020 hindsight, you should have won that game. You should have won that game. What was that, Game 4? You should have won Game 4, man. Then we're looking at, 3-2 Miami's way as opposed to 3-2 coming back from 3-1. So Miami might have blown their chance to win the series, just looking all the way ahead. But as far as just, the fans getting the quality series, getting their money's worth, getting their time's worth, I think they're getting all that stuff, man. Until next time, this is the road to 500 subs. Take care of yourself. I'm exhausted. Y'all ready for Game 6?